Hello and welcome to episode 36 of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California, where I want to share all things VKL. I am so super excited about this episode, so let's get started. Okay, so VKL has come and gone. It was an amazing experience. The name of this episode is Big Apple Love because I got to spend 5 days in New York. I saw nothing because I was inside the Marriott Marquis, but that was fine by me. It was so amazing. I'll start this episode by giving you a little health update. As I like to do, I want to say that my rheumatoid arthritis behaved, and I actually was in really good shape. My arthritis was something that I was really concerned about because I have been experiencing some flare-ups. Can you hear the plane? I have tried, guys, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to start to record this episode, and I'm just gonna go with it. There's a plane if you hear it. Sorry. Okay, so I was really concerned that the arthritis was gonna act up. You know, it's like 20 degrees in New York. Had no issues with it. I was very much under control. Now, I had been getting over an upper respiratory infection, but that seemed to get better as the days went on, and I did not come back and get sick. I was tired, but I was not sick, which I'm really happy about. But I packed 2 big suitcases and 1 backpack, and that's what I took to New York. I had 1 suitcase full of all my product, my pins, and then another suitcase filled with clothing and things like that. I took a thick jacket. Let me tell you, this jacket is cursed, but I don't know if it's cursed in a good way or a bad way. I went to Yarndale 2 years ago. That's in the UK, and everybody told me it was going to be really cold to bring a good jacket. So I bought a really nice, jacket that was really nice and warm, which I never wore. I mean, I carried this stupid thing around. I attempted to leave it at the Airbnb that we were staying at when Faye came to pick me up, because the first time I met Faye of the Crochet Circle podcast was she came to pick me up at my Airbnb, and we headed to Yarndale. And maybe it was the second day. Well, one of those days where she came to pick me up, I had left the jacket there because I didn't need it. And I said to her, what do you want to make a bet? My mom's going to come out with that jacket. And sure enough, here comes my mom waving the jacket around, which I didn't need. And then I packed the thing again in the suitcase, and I never used it. I never wore it. So that was fine. I got into New York on Thursday night and headed straight to the Marriott Marquis, where Diane of Lady Di Yarns was setting up the booth, and her friend Natasha. Hi, Natasha. I met her at the booth, and we had it until about 10 o'clock that evening to set up the booth, and then the next day, which was Friday, we had until 4 o'clock, which is when the marketplace opened, I believe at 4:30. And one of the things that they did was they had a little bit of time before the marketplace was open to the general public for people who had who needed accessibility, people in wheelchairs or walkers or things like that, people who just needed not to be dealing with the massive crowds, got a chance to shop around before the general public went in, and I thought that was a really great idea. So Thursday night, like I said, we set up. Friday, it was set up and then Marketplace open, and it was crazy. it was, oh my gosh. First of all, being there, just to see all the product, all the beautiful yarn, all the beautiful things was amazing. And when you are a vendor in a booth, you don't really get time to walk around. You don't really get time to shop. So I just decided beforehand that I was going to let my cousin Wendy, come down to VKL because she lives in Harlem, to photograph and take some footage of the show, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. Now, she is a photographer, and I actually did a really cool interview with her last year that I will be airing sometime soon, because she is such an amazing photographer. But anyway, I said, Wendy, come down on Saturday, come take pictures. And that was really all the footage that you'll see on this Vlogcast is like 99% out of her camera, because I have very, very few things in my camera. I just did not have the time. One of the first things that I'll tell you right now that was just the highlights of VKL for me was being able to finally meet in person a lot of the people that I interact with on Instagram. And I say Instagram because that's really my main social media platform. I don't do a lot of Facebook. I actually don't really do any Facebook. I have a Twitter account. Everything just kind of gets posted to it. So Instagram is sort of like my home base for social media interactions. And so over the years, and I'm saying over the years, the last 2 years really, I have connected with some people on Instagram who have either been viewers of the Vlogcast or just have followed me on Instagram, that it was an absolute pleasure to meet. Now, I knew, and as most of you know, Gigi and Adela of Lola Bean Yarn Company were going to be at this VKL. By the way, how do you guys like my glasses? Okay, you guys, this is okay, squirrel, pause what I was saying, and let me just say this right now. I have been wearing glasses since I was in 3rd grade. I have really bad astigmatism, and for the last almost 3 years, I've been podcasting without my glasses, and it's been a struggle, and it's gotten a lot worse in the last 6 months. So, and then I lose glasses all the time. So I have multiple pairs of glasses in rooms and in bags and all kinds of stuff. But I just got this frame, and I really, really like it. So, and it's not a vanity thing, really. It's just that I tried recording with my glasses before, and I got a lot of glare that really just didn't look right. And so I decided, I'm just going to do it without my glasses. But I was having a hard time reading notes. I'm having a hard time reading labels. So I just said, this year, I'm just going to embrace my glasses, and hopefully it doesn't have too much glare. That's it. Okay. Going back to what I was saying is that, that Gigi and Adela and all these other people were going to be there. And when I arrived on Thursday night, one of the first things I wanted to do was to stop by Adela's booth and say hello, because I knew she was going to get mobbed. I knew that whole weekend it was going to be really difficult to get to spend time with her. It's really difficult to have conversations with people when you're vending at an event, because you're just trying to do so much. And it was so nice to first see Gigi and get that Gigi hug. It meant a lot to me, because I follow Gigi, and I feel like she's an important voice in our community. And so to see her and finally get that hug, no pictures. I'll tell you about that, but I actually have no pictures with Gigi. I have the one amazing picture that she took of us when she's giving me that kiss, and I'll put it, you'll see it, I'll put a little slideshow. but I actually don't have any pictures of Gigi and I, and it's okay, because I'm more about, I had the experience to be able to give someone that I have followed and who I like, to be able to see Adela, and she and I have had interactions on Instagram. To be able to just see her was so nice, because I feel like Adela's success is a success for all of us. Her success opens that door to all of us. And let me tell you, that success comes because of all the hard work that she has put in. It didn't fall in her lap. It's not something that just happened overnight. Adela is a hardworking person, and so to see her succeed just made me feel proud. I am genuinely happy for Adela, for all the success that she has received, all the success that she has created for herself, and to model someone who works so hard is a good thing, because she is a very hard worker. When you have your own business, some of you know, there's no holidays, there's no weekends. We work Christmas Eve, we work New Year's Day, we work birthdays, we work. It's just, that is the nature of the beast. So, I don't know if you watch this Vlogcast, Adela, but I just want to say that you are an inspiration. You're an inspiration for so many people. And it's an inspiration because of your talent and your hard work. And I am really, really, really happy that you have that success that you have. And I hope that it just continues on, and that it just becomes the norm to see BIPOCs at these shows, and that it just becomes a norm to see our booths filled with people, and it just becomes the way things are, that we are at these shows, and that we are showing our talent and sharing our talent with the fiber community. So of course I want to say I'm proud, but I just don't want to say things in a very flippant way, because it is a moment, and it's an important moment to acknowledge. And so she wasn't the only person, or her and Gigi were not the only people that I met who I admire and who I am. It was just a time of joy, really. I got to see Shelby, who is so tall and beautiful. I mean, my goodness. I felt like one of the things that I was telling my cousin Wendy, I said, when you see people on social media, you don't get that spatial relationship. So some of the people that I met were so freaking tall that I felt like freaking like a little tiny person. And Shelby's one of those people. She's a very tall lady. But I was very happy in the booth that I was in, which was Lady Diane's booth. We had several BIPOC makers in there. She basically allowed us to just come to VKL and vend at her booth. We had Tara of Mitchell's Creation, which is another yarn dyer, and we had Mackenzie of EMTOTHETHRID. We had Laverne of Bzy Peach, and I have some of Laverne's product that I want to show you, which is really, really, really cool. And then there was myself, and then there was a gentleman who does a double knitting, and I'll put his name down here because I don't remember off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I do not remember his name. I just want to say how incredibly grateful I am that Diane allows other people in her booth to vend. I think it's an awesome opportunity. Personally, I sell pin back buttons, and I would have to sell a lot of pin back buttons to be able to afford a space at VKL just to sell my buttons. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to to be in a booth with another maker. That way it's more affordable, and to be able to be in a booth with several other makers just makes a lot of sense. And so I really am thankful for Diane for doing that, for allowing us to do that. I guess I was trying to do this chronologically, but I don't think I'm doing a good job. So I'm just going to say that Thursday was tiring and great. Friday morning, I had the pleasure of spending time with Christy Glass of Christy Glass Knits. Lovely, lovely person. I had so much fun talking to her, and I'm really excited about her featuring crochet on her channel, because she has made a lot of efforts to include crochet in her channel, in her channel. I'm really happy that she shows crochet on her channel. I feel really like I'm really out of practice talking in front of the camera, and I feel a little tongue-tied. And I felt that way when I was talking to her, and so she was very, very gracious and patient with me. After that interview, I got a genuine New York welcome to the city. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt. It was crocheted. It was 20 degrees outside. It was cold, but I'm running hot. I mean, I'm like premenopausal, people. My hormones, I got hot head. I walked out of the apartment into this really cold air that felt really good. And I had ordered my Lyft to come pick me up to take me to the hotel. And I'm standing there waiting for the line to change. And this man walks behind me, and he yelled at me. And he said, "Put a jacket on. You're going to get sick." And kept walking. I was like, all right, I am in New York. And the cab driver said the same thing. He couldn't believe that I was walking around with no jacket, but I was completely fine. I spent all of like 5 minutes outside, and then I was in the hotel, setting up. Then I have to say that one of the really fun people I met at VKL was Corrado Lark. And he had a beautiful sample of one of his patterns that Diane put together as a kit for sale. And he was so lovely. He was so nice. We got to spend some time together, and I just have to say that, he's a great guy, and I really, really enjoyed our time together. And then Saturday was an absolute zoo. It really was. It just, I get a little anxious around crowds of people. And I had told Wendy that I wanted to take a little bit of time to actually I did want to walk around the 5th and 6th floor, to see, the different stalls and the different booths. And so I took some time, and we went around, and I tell you, it was crowded. It was crowded. We went around the 5th floor, and then we went upstairs to the 6th floor, and I was walking around, and I saw like a mob of people at the Shelly Can and Ritual Dyes booth. And I'm peeking over, and I saw Joji Locatelli, and I said to my cousin, "Oh goodness," I go, "that's Joji Locatelli. She's a really, really famous knitwear designer from Argentina." Did not know she was going to be there. And I just I don't fangirl. I'm not one of those people that fangirls, but I was so excited to see her there. I did not expect that. And so people were taking pictures, and there was a lot of commotion going around. And I said to Wendy, "I'm going to just wait and see if it dies out. I just want to say hi." I wasn't even thinking to get a picture with her, to be honest with you. I just wanted to say hi and to let her know that I really like her work. And I'm not even a knitter, and I love her stuff, right? I see it on the Grocery Girls. I see it everywhere. So the crowd kind of died down, and I reached over and I said, "Señora Joji, es un gran placer conocerla, Miss Joji, well, in Spanish, we would say Señora Jorge, right? It's just a great pleasure to meet you. And I said, I'm Crochet. She said, Luna. And she's like, oh, yes, I follow your stories. And I was like, oh, my goodness. I was like this. I was inside going, oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And I was able to take a nice picture with her. And the reason why I think certain people affect us, not just because that they are celebrities in our world. I think it's because some people just have a genuine kindness that comes through in the way that they are, and the way that when they talk to you, they look at you in the eye and they smile, and that smile is a genuine smile that reaches all the way to the eyes. And I just felt like when I was talking to her, we were talking as people that were genuinely interested in saying hello and how are you, and yes, I like your work, and yes, it wasn't just like a brush off, and you would expect so many people who are in the celebrity world to do that, because they see a lot of people and they get mobbed by a lot of people. And Miss Hohi was nothing but gracious, and I could just say that I would hope that when people meet me, they think that I am just as genuine as well, because I do like to meet people when they come up to me, and I do like to say how grateful I am that people sought me out at VKL and wanted to spend time with me, to talk to me. It's special. It really is. So that was a highlight, to meet her and take a picture with her. It was a highlight to meet so many people. I put a little list together because I didn't want to forget people's names, but I'm sure I'll forget. And if I do, I sincerely apologize. I really, really do. But I got to meet Cecilia from Creative Ceci, who I'm just a big fan of hers. You should, if you don't follow her on Instagram, you definitely should. She talks about diversity and inclusion from a professional point of view, with knowledge, with insight that is invaluable. So I met Danny from Gemma Darlings. She's so sweet. She was so sweet, and she's so beautiful. Then I knew that the UK contingency was going to be at VKL, and that was so amazing. I got to meet Jeanette Sloan, which that was a definitely highlight for me, and Lorna, and Allison, who is one half of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. And I said to her, you better come next time to this booth and bring me your mama, because I knew her mom was with her. I said, I need to meet your mom. I need to give her a hug. So it was so much fun to meet Vivian. So I met both halves of Keep Calm and Carry On. It was so much fun. And then there was Ellie from Skin Deer, which I will be completely honest with you. I was standing next to Ellie with my cousin Wendy, talking. And the thing is, I'm not a knitter really. So I know knitters, knitwear designers, and I hear names and things, but I don't necessarily follow all the knitting podcasts or know all of the knitting designers. But I was looking at her, and I think this was the second interaction, and I'm looking at her going, I should know her. Like, I know this person. And then I'm like, you're a designer, right? She's like, yes. And then she was wearing this really beautiful sweater. I'm like, did you design that? She's like, yeah. She was so gracious, and I was so obtuse. And then finally I realized, oh, that's Ellie from Skin Deer. So Ellie, if you're watching this, I do apologize that I was so obtuse about who you are. But like I said, I don't follow a lot of knitwear designers. But yeah, Diane was like, yeah, that was Ellie from Skin Deer. I follow you now. And you know what? I follow you on Instagram. But again, I was complaining to someone about how I follow over 3,000 accounts on Instagram, and I maybe see the same 10, 15 accounts every day. The only way that changes for me is if I go looking for people and start interacting with them. If not, I don't see their posts, and it's really, really frustrating. Remember there was a time on Instagram when you would see things chronologically? I wish they would bring that back. That works for me a lot better. Anyway, met so many people. Shelly Can, when I went to the Shelly Can booth, I got her awesome pins. Ismelda, oh my gosh, I was so happy to meet her. Beautiful lady. And then you had your friend with you, which I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but you know what? I'm going to research it, and I'm going to put the name here. She was just as wonderful. It was so, so lovely to meet her. And then when I was on the sixth floor, I was walking out, and then I saw Margarita. So Margarita and I had a really nice conversation. She has just started dyeing yarn, and I'm going to put a link to her shop. Excuse me. I'm going to put a link to her shop, and then I will encourage you to go check out her yarn dyeing business, which she's just started, and I want to give her some support. Then, let's see. Nancy from Getting Pearly with It. I got to meet her. She's also taller. But then again, everybody's taller than me. I was really concerned because Nachito, her dog, Nacho, is having some health issues. And so I wanted to give her a hug and just wish Nachito a speedy recovery. He's having some spinal problems, and he was paralyzed, and he's struggling. And, puppies with dogs, it's not like you can just say, lay here, it's good for you. They want to go, they want to do things. So he's trying to manage that. I met Gregory Stitch. His name is Thomas. Everybody calls him Gregory, but his name is Thomas. Really talented person. I met Louis from Brooklyn Boy Knits. I met Alex from Alex Creates, who is so freaking tall. You'll see the picture that I'm going to post where I look like a very, very short person, and he is very, very, very tall. I met, let's see, who else did I see? I don't know. There's just so many. So many people. Lisa Knits. She's a lady that I run into. I think she's California based. She's West Coast based, but I run into her at West Coast. At Stitches West and at Stitches SoCal. I run into her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we are in New York, and I'm running into you. I run into her all the time. So hi, Lisa. Hoping to see you again at Stitches West. So that was the experience of VKL for me. It was just, it was really positive. I was really happy to see that in the crowds at VKL, there was a lot of diversity of people. I guess from people that I've talked to who have gone to VKL before in years past, they had never seen it be this diverse. Not only because of the crowds, the people that came to VKL, but also the vendors. And that still has to improve, of course. And that leads me to one of the big things that I feel VKL definitely got right. So last year, we all know we had this diversity and inclusion conversation happening on Instagram that filtered, outside to these events where people go and get their fiber fix. And Vogue Knit Live put together a diversity advisory council. Okay. They put together this program because they saw there was a need to make these events more inclusive. Now, I will put the links to all of the things that I'm going to talk about if you want to really know what these components that Vogue is developing and developed for Vogue Knit Live. I would highly recommend that you go and read. It's not a lot of reading, but I want you to understand that it wasn't just a surface of, they didn't deal with this issue on the surface just to make it look pretty. It wasn't just for optics. What Vogue Knit Live did was a lot of hard work, and by Vogue Knit Live, I am talking about bringing together the people that have created the foundation for the future of events such as these. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and I'll get to the yarn and I'll get to the things. I'll get to all those things, but I really feel that it's important to talk about these components because they made Vogue Knit Live for people like me an inclusive event. Okay, they are striving to make these events, and because of what they are doing, others will follow. So the first thing was the Diversity Advisory Council. And there's going to be a link for this because this is their mission statement, and I just want to read to you the part that I think really gets to the heart of why this type of thing is needed. It says, the Diversity Advisory Council at Vogue Knitting Magazine has as its mission to ensure that all, regardless of race, gender identity, sexuality, religion, age, ability, or access needs, feel welcome, supported, and recognized by our publications and at our events. We recognize that this is not a quick fix, but rather a journey to lasting change. That's all you need to know about that. They are making and have made the effort, they have put in the time, because this is not easy work. This is not something that you're going to put together over on a weekend. This took a lot of work. And the members of the Diversity Council, if you didn't know, are people like Louis from Brooklyn Boy Knits is on the council. You've got Ana Campos and Felicity Ford. And I recommend that you go to these links so that you can read about why these people are important and what they brought to the table. Everybody has their expertise, and everybody brought something important. We've got Diane, Lady Di Yarns. We've got Lorna Hamilton Brown and Cecilia Nelson Hurt. And here's Ceci, Creative Ceci. We also have Jeanette Sloan. And we have Angela Tong. Okay, so I would recommend highly that if you wanted to know more about the Diversity Council and the people that helped to start this process of being more inclusive at these events, take a look. This is the work. When people say you've got to do the work, this is the work. It's not just about saying the right thing. It's about working and doing the right thing. So this is the work. And from this came something that I talked about that I was involved with, which was the Launchpad. And the Launchpad is a small business development program that came from this Diversity Advisory Council. And this is what allowed 20 people that went through the program to vend at VKL. So I will give you some information. Sorry. You guys, the brain, right? The brain and the mouth are not in sync. So my brain is like 3 words ahead and my mouth is like, what do you want to say? Anyway, I want to give you some information that I think will put in perspective why these things are important. Okay, so there was a fee to be part of Launchpad that was paid by the participants. And they also paid a fee to be vendors at VKL. But it was highly reduced. It was greatly reduced. And like I said, I will put a link to this document because all the information is there. They're very transparent about everything. There's nothing hidden here. Any question that you might have, you're going to find the information. But check this out. The cost to vend at VKL for Launchpad participants was $175. Okay? The booth space that they got access to is valued at $1,150. That's for a 10 by 8 foot booth. So if you are starting a business and you're small, it's important to go to these events, right? It's important to be seen by 10,000 people who went through this event. But you might not have the resources. I might not have $1,150 to just pay for this 8 by 10 booth at an important event where I know that I need to be and my product needs to be seen. When I go back and say, it's not just about talking and saying the right thing, it's about doing the right thing. This is concrete. These are concrete steps that have been taken by an organization to make sure that they are working towards diversity and inclusion. It's important. I am going to link every single person that participated in the Launchpad program underneath this video in my show notes. And I would ask that you go and look at these vendors and look at their product. And if they have an Instagram account, please subscribe. That helps our algorithm. If you see something that you like, please buy from them. You're supporting them. This is how we get our businesses to grow, right? So I will go ahead and do that. And I just thank you in advance for taking the time to do that. Because I know we all have things to do. But you will find some amazing yarn dyers. You will find some amazing products that these businesses are trying to they're trying to be seen. They're trying to be put in front of people so that they have a chance and their businesses have a chance to grow. All right. I know you guys want to see some of the stuff that I got, and I want to show it to you. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. I got show notes. I got things. I got some admin to take care of. Okay. Let's talk about the Mals going on. The Cows going on. The Wizarding Mal 2020, which I am co-hosting with the lovely Hannah of the Cozy, oh my God, Hannah. The Cozy Cottage Crochet. And we are hosting a year-long Mal. Every month has a theme for the Wizarding Mal. And we are encouraging you to sew a project bag a quarter. There are details about the Mal in my Ravelry group. And I encourage you to stop by and look at some of the amazing things people are making. There's also, I'm going to wrap up now, the Sock Theme Cal 2019 fourth quarter winners. I have 4 winners. I have a October winner for the prompt that was a season of change. And the winner for the October theme is Mind and Muse Crafts, which is the really, really lovely Caroline, who is in Puerto Rico. I was really, really concerned with those earthquakes, and I sent Clarissa Beth of the Crochet Cakes podcast, because that's her daughter. I sent her a message, and I'm like, I hope your mom's okay. Having been in a major earthquake, I was in the 1986 earthquake in El Salvador. That was quite traumatizing. I was just very concerned and hoping that she was okay. And I keep saying it's the show. So November was Comfy Cozy was the prompt, and the winner is Boer Wars, which I never can say Claudia, so I'm just going to call you Claudia. Claudia is the winner of the November theme. And then December, the theme was A Time for Joy, and the winner is Stasia of Stasia Crochet. So pick a pattern from Ravelry. Let me know what you want, up to $10, and it's yours. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to make crochet socks, knitted socks, wonderful socks, and for participating in the sock themed cow. Now, I had said there was going to be a grand prize that I was going to draw from the people, and I didn't even count how many people entered. Should I do that now? Should I tell you how many people entered the crochet? Should I tell you how many people entered the Sock Themed Cow 2019? Okay, so I counted 45 people entered the Sock Themed Cow 2019. And those 45 people cranked out a whole mess of socks. But only a handful actually did one pair of socks for each of the themes in the year. And I have my grand prize winner that I've picked, but I want to show you what that grand prize winner is going to receive. So one of the things that they're going to receive is a Wool in the Gang self-striping kind of magic sock yarn. And there's like instructions in here on how to do it. But here's the ball. I thought that was really pretty yarn. You're also going to get, I figured that because it's a sock theme make-along, that you should get a nice sampling of socks. So I picked up this, I think this is, Loops and Thread Perfect Pair, which you can get 2 pairs of socks. That was a really pretty colorway. Okay. You are also going to get the knitted sock tube that was part of our my collaboration with Jessie from Mita Yarns and Elba, who is Totally Tubular Socks. This was our Christmas collaboration called Foot Fiesta, and Elba has already made the tube for you. It's nice and extra long. Like I was saying, you can get fingerless mittens with this. You can do socks. There's a lot you can do. The colorway is absolutely gorgeous. And you're going to get the mini that goes with that, along with a very special skein of sock yarn. So I went to Adela's booth and I bought some yarn for myself. And then the next day I thought, I think it'd be cool to get a skein of yarn for the grand prize winner, because I know that she has different bases. And I said, where's your sock yarn? And she pointed to it. And I saw this colorway, this was Adela's Vogue Knitting Live colorway. And it's a fingering weight yarn, and it's called The City So Nice They Named It Twice. And she gifted this skein to me to give to my grand prize winner. I thought that was incredibly generous of her. I want you to see the speckle game is so on point. This is going to be if you make socks with this, it's going to be a fantastic pair of socks. But if you don't, know that I think this is a really special skein of sock yarn. You're also going to get a ribbon, and this ribbon is what came with our sock kit. You tie this ribbon around your wrist 3 times. Each knot you make a wish, and you wear it, and when it falls apart, your wishes have come true. Now I can tell you that I've had this on for quite a while, and two of the wishes that I made when I tied my knots have come true. It's fun. It's just a fun little thing, and Jessie includes that with all of her yarn kits. Here is this little postcard that came with our yarn kit. You will get, and this one here shows you, I think if you scan this, you get some links to some patterns and tutorials. You will get the button that I designed for the yarn kit. You'll also get the sticker and the amazing buttons that Jessie and Elba put together for our collaboration. So you'll get that. You will also get a couple just little fun things. Oh, here, let me just bring this over here. There you go. You'll get some darning needles, because, you know, we lose these all the time. You'll get this stitch count bracelet, which I thought was really fun. Okay. You will get this little journal that you can personalize. You can make little patterns on it. A row counter. One of these. I have one of these. I use it all the time. A row counter. You will get a Burt's Beeswax lip balm, because I put one of these in my project bags because I get chapped lips, and I figure, why not? It's fun. You will also get some pins from my pin shop. You'll get the Sock Maker Extraordinaire pin, and you will get the Good Yarn Vibes pin, as well as the No Yarn Diet. And then you're going to get this pin, which is the last in existence. I own one. This is the last Crochet Luna enamel pin. I don't have any more of these, and I don't have any plans to have any more of these made, so you get the last one. Now, when I went to Julian, which is about an hour north here of Escondido, and I did a trunk show at Cat's Yarn Cottage, I also got to visit the Julian Soap Company, and they sell these beautiful soaps wrapped in cloth, and I got an olive oil and silk handcrafted soap. Buttermilk, oatmeal, and honey, actually. Okay, so olive oil and silk handcrafted soap. That's the name of the soap, but the one that you're getting is buttermilk, oatmeal, and honey. I thought, oh, it smells so good. You're gonna love it. So I got that. You're also gonna get 2 project bags. You're gonna get this one. It says thankful and grateful. Little tassels. You are going to get this bag by a maker who's no longer making bags, which is Ash Love Makes. She made this really cool bag that you're going to get, nice and big. And you're going to get Make Fun Socks. 9 cute and cozy designs to crochet. I thought that would be cool. That's a lot of stuff, right? Was it worth it? Is it worth it? Was it worth it to make 12 pairs of socks and enter them in the sock theme cow? I think so. So you guys ready for the grand prize winner? Ready? The grand prize winner of the Sock Theme Cal 2019 is Mo's Crochet. I'll put it down here. So Mo, please contact me with your address, and I will get this fantastic package of goodies out to you. Let's talk finished objects. I only have one, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, so last year, Diane asked me to design a pattern. I took my time to really think about how I wanted to do this design. I'm really enjoying the design process. It's very new to me. And I when I'm working these stitches and these designs, I'm really thinking about, is this something that I would enjoy crocheting? And if the answer is no, then I stop. So I enjoyed this project. It is the infinity scarf that you saw me wearing earlier on in the episode. It is called La Lucha, which is Spanish for the fight. As you know, we are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the suffrage movement, when women got the vote. And even though it's been 100 years, we are still fighting, ladies. We are still fighting for so many things. And so I made this infinity cowl. Well, it's an infinity scarf. So I had it wrapped around 3 times. It has a seed stitch portion of it, and then it's got this really cool double crochet stitch. And what I liked about it is that it's linked, so I feel like it's that linking of, you know, the women of the past and the women of now, and how we are still fighting for so many things. And so that's why I chose this stitch. And I liked the way that, I just really liked the way that what it did with the yarn, with the way that it was dyed. I don't know, I really like that. So this pattern will be available. It's not available right now. Will be available in the next couple of weeks because I'm still writing it. But I just wanted to share with you my second crochet design, which I'm really, really proud of. And let me tell you, I have a picture of when I blocked this thing, and blocking is magic, as you guys all know, because this thing was uneven and kind of a little bit on the narrow side, and I blocked it very aggressively, and I love how it came out. It's soft, it's beautiful, and that is my FO for today. Let's talk whips. I have 2. I'm scared to show you these things. The first one is the Taroko sweater that I'm working for. Yeah, this sweater is making me work. Taroko is a pattern by Nomad Stitches, and it is not in my project bag, so I don't know what happened to it. I don't have much done except for the ribbed collar. So there's nothing really exciting going on here except a bunch of ribbing. But look at this color. Yeah, I love it. I'm struggling. I will be completely honest with you. I'm struggling with the pattern. The stitch that the pattern requires is really hard on my hands. And I'm hoping that as I build rows that it will go a little bit faster. I am struggling. I'm struggling with the stitches on the sweater. But it's so beautiful. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I'm just physically struggling with how the stitches are made up, and I don't know. I'm hoping that things will get better with the sweater. And I'm really jealous because Claudia in Germany has made 2. She's working on number 2. And they look so fantastic that I definitely want to keep, working the pattern. But I think it's going to be slow go. I thought I was going to be able to bust through this thing, but no, it's not happening. The next FO that I have also is a baby start. And that is my Catherine of Crafternoon Treats Supersonic Crochet Socks. I showed you this. This is my January entry into the Wizarding Mal. My wizard is Merlin. This is my yarn. And I just have a little tiny bit of ribbing. That's all I have. That's all I have. But I started. So I think what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to be working on these socks when I get fed up working on Taroko. Is what's going to happen. And that's living in my Harry Potter bag that I showed you guys last time. from Twisted Skein. So those are my 2 projects that I have. I don't have a project queue because, like I said, I really want to focus on getting these 2 things done. One, Taroko should be a sample at Stitches West. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, but like I said, it's a tough one. Let me move on to my VK haul, which is not a lot of yarn. I did not do a lot of shopping because when you're vending, you just don't have the time to do a lot of shopping. And so I was not looking to buy yarn, but I said to my cousin, I don't need any more yarn, but I need this yarn. And that is the Lola Yarn Company. I got a couple, not a couple, I'm lying. I got a couple of these. Altogether, I got 6 skeins of yarn. This is Un Coco Loco on her DK weight yarn base. It's a really beautiful color. Let's see if I can get this to show up nice. It's a very subtle, like, creamy color with speckles. I think it looks good here. Then I got this. I thought this was a great pairing. One is called Gritty, and the other one is called Concrete Jungle. I thought these 2 went really well together. Now this is her fingering weight yarn. There's little speckles of green on here. But this is basically a gray, and then this is basically like a dark gray, like a steely gray. And I thought these 2. You guys hear my dog drinking water? Oh my God. It's a hot mess trying to record. Now I had to turn on my other lights, and you see how my lights reflect on my glasses? That's the kind of stuff that drives me nuts. So, all right, side note. So I got that. Then I saw this and I thought, ooh, it's so pretty. And this is called Gluttony. And it's on her bulky base. And I thought these would be great for a chunky weight hat. I actually asked Gigi, I said, do you think I get a knitted hat out of one of these? And she goes, no, better take 2. So I took 2. Oops. And so that's all the yarn that I got. It's so pretty though. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm looking forward to working with this combination. I think that would look really nice. Then I went upstairs to the 6th floor and I saw this bag. Oh, look at the light. My light just went out. I think it's better. I saw this bag and I said, it's going to have to come home with me. This bag is massive and beautiful. This is my Frida Khalo bag. I mean, look how freaking gorgeous this bag is. I have seen many Frida Khalo fabrics. I've never seen this Frida Khalo fabric. The back is just flowers. And this is from Katie Did Bags. This is the bag. She had other Frida Khalo prints, but this was the one that just called my name. And this is where I am keeping my Taroko stash of yarns. So Taroko is made with Lady Di yarns, and she has chosen to use these 3 colorways for her Taroko. And I think it's beautiful. If I don't end up throwing the pattern against the wall. So that bag I bought. And then across from where we were was Malojos. And if you don't know Malojos, she's a jewelry maker. And I wear her skull earrings and her skull ring all the time. And she was sharing booth space with this other maker. And this other maker is, she had bags. And she is Chaigu Calm. This is her tag. I don't know that it's going to focus. Anyway, I will link everybody. But she had this cat bag. You see this cat with really nasty attitude? You look at that face. Like, look at this face. Okay? Bad attitude cat, right? I said to her, these are the many moods of my daughter. Now, my daughter's a huge cat lover. But when I saw the faces on this cat, I said, that is my daughter, 100%. So in the morning, when you go try and wake her up, she looks at you like this. Then, when you ask her to do her homework, she looks at you like this. Never mind asking her about cleaning her room, because then you get this face. So this is my many moods of my daughter cat bag. I love it. I love it so much. I showed it to her and she goes, I showed it to my daughter and she said, yeah. Then I was mentioning that I went to Shelly Can, because wherever Shelly Can is, you got to go check out her flare. And this year her theme was Coney Island. And she designed this amazing graphic, right? I love it. Love it. And she did the button. Yeah, big weirdo. Of course, you know, love that. I also went to Katrinkles for the first time. I've never been to a Katrinkles booth, and I found these adorable stock markers, which I think I'm going to include a couple of these markers for my grand prize winner. So Mo, you're probably going to get a couple of these. Can you see them? And at Katrinkles, I picked up two things, a wraps per inch and a crochet hook gauge. This was the wraps per inch, because a lot of times I have yarn that has no label and I don't know, like it would be nice to know what, you know, what weight it is, and I think this would come in handy. And then this one, I have some older hooks. I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to Faye, and I said, you know, they still miss the boat on hook sizes, because if you look at this, there's no 3mm hook and there is no 7mm hook. And those are both hook sizes that I have used in the past. 3mm hooks I'm actually using right now on 2 projects. And why people don't put or acknowledge a 3mm hook is such an issue for me. I did a whole podcast on that. Then from Ritual Dyes, this super cool, ginormous patch. They did the whole zodiac, and this is Gemini because I'm a June baby. So this is my zodiac, and I love that this looks like moons, and their graphics are just on point. Absolutely. I mentioned to you that we had Laverne from Bzy Peach in our booth, and she has designed these yarn journals that you can keep track of your stash. But what caught my attention when I said to Diane, you have got to contact Laverne and get her in the booth, is her graphic design. So she has many different designs of journals. This is just an example of 2 of them. And this one says, all things in moderation except yarn. Look how pretty that is. And this one says, buy me yarn and tell me I'm pretty. I love that she's got the crochet hook and the knitting needles. Check out Laverne's Instagram and you can see more of her images. They are absolutely wonderful. I'm actually using mine to keep track of projects. This is my Hexit shawl, which I still haven't uploaded to Ravelry. I have to do that. But this has got my samples and my notes. And then I visited a little, well, it wasn't little, but a booth, and it's called Wee Ones, I believe. And she had these earrings of all kinds, and I got these little, which I don't know that you'll be able to see, little sheep earrings. Can you see that? There they are. Little sheep. Oh my god, they're so cute. So I got those sheep earrings. And then I was walking on the outside because there's vendors inside of the main meeting rooms, let's just say, and then on the outside in the hall to get to it, there's different vendors. And so I saw this and I'm like, I have to bring it home. This is a felted sign that says home, and she's included a place here so that you could just put a little, rod and you can hang it. And unfortunately, I do not have, this was in a Ziploc bag. I do not have the name of the maker. If anybody was at Vogue and you know this maker, please let me know. I would love to tag them. I cannot find the information, and I paid cash, so I don't even have a receipt. But I love it. I love it so much. She had these really cute gnomes and all kinds of felted things. Now, last year when I was at Stitches West with Diane, she came out with a project bag and a shirt that said Badass Knitter. Now, I wasn't the only one who said, well, where is the Badass Crocheter? And I said, Diane, you need to get Badass Crocheter. So for VKL this year, Diane put together Badass Crocheter. Yep. And the jury is still out because I think these will only be available at the show, which is the upcoming show Stitches West and then Stitches Seattle. I will see if we can't do a pre-order of these online. I will get back to you on it. But not only did she do the project bag, but she did the shirt, which is the Badass Crocheter shirt. And she also did one called Salty Crafter, and let me grab it so I can show it to you. So not only can you be a Badass Crocheter, you might also be a Salty Crafter. I love this shirt. I wore this one on Saturday, actually. I think these will be online. I'm not 100% sure. You could definitely get them at the show. And I will get back to you with more information about that. If you really want that, if you really want a shirt or a project bag, let me know. And the more requests that I get, the more I can probably convince Diane to just sell them online. And so I think that if she sees an interest in purchasing this stuff online, it's easier for her to put in an order for that, because most of the stuff is just going to be available at the show. Oh, I wanted to show you this. This is Laverne's card, which is a little crocheted peach. She is Bzy Peach on all of the social media platforms. And I was at the booth, and this lovely lady came by and she just handed me this and walked away. She gave me this little crocheted heart. Look how cute that is. Little crocheted heart. And the card says, your heart is a garden of love. Now, I didn't know who she was, and she was actually teaching at VKL. Her name is Susan Colon, and her hashtag is Kind Bombs. I researched it so I could share that with you. But I will find a place to put this cute little heart. She had a bag full of these things. Now, these are small, but that's still a lot of work. So I definitely want to put this in a special place. All right. I have something that I want to share with you guys. That is a pretty big deal. When I came back home, I brought samples, and I had some stuff. Basically, I had everything shipped to me from the show because this stuff is going to Stitches West. One of the things that I have the absolute privilege to have in my hands and to share with you, and I asked Diane if it was okay to share it with you, is the most amazing sweater by Sylvia Watts Cherry. And I think you have seen the sweater before, but for those of you who have not, I want to share this with you. It's called Nubian Queen. I'm going to step back so that you can see it. This is the Nubian Queen sweater that Sylvia knitted with Diane's yarn. It is absolutely a work of art. Just get close so that you can see the detail on it. It's a beautiful, beautiful work. There was a kit at VKL that you could purchase, and I believe there is one kit left online that you can purchase for this. I'm not sure that she's doing more kits. Again, if you are interested, the best thing to do is to you can leave me a message on Instagram or a comment here, and I can tell Diane that there is interest to purchase more of these kits. But Nubian Queen is right now making her home here in Escondido, and she will be at Stitches West. Absolute privilege to have met Sylvia, to have a photograph taken with her. Her daughter is absolutely just the nicest lady, and it's like I said, it's one of these experiences that you have that just added to the absolute joy and happiness of being part of such an event. I now want to share something that I received in December, but actually I received it before December, and I basically kept it unopened until Christmas Day, and this is one of the presents that I was able to open on Christmas Day. You know, I don't get to open a lot of things on Christmas, and that's okay. But this was definitely a surprise, and it was a lovely, lovely surprise. I participated in a craft swap with the Craft Bank. I link the Craft Bank on Ravelry on every single episode that I put out. You will see a link to the Craft Bank, and that is a thread that was started on Ravelry that helps people get patterns and things that may not have the resources to get. A lot of people, have yarn to give or project bags. Well, I did an exchange, and the person that I received the package from was Sarah. She put together the most funnest, beautiful package, and it was an absolute joy to open this on Christmas Day. So let me share the things that she put in this package. First of all, I got a really cute ornament, which I can put this, this could be a year-long ornament. I love it. And then she crocheted me some little face puffs, which is funny because I've been wanting to make these for myself, but I just never get around to it. So I'm excited to have these really nice face puffs, and this little dishcloth. It's all 100% cotton. Beautiful stitch, beautiful work. Really happy to have this. Then she made these really, they smell so good. These really cute satchels of lavender. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at that print. Now this print is also what she made my very beautiful project bag that she sent. I love this project bag. I love it. It's so well made. It's got this beautiful lining, and it's got these little bells. And the drawstring part of it is like a little leather cord, which I love. I think that's great. She included a little mini set from TracyMustard.com, what Mustard made, in these beautiful colorways. Does it say what the name of it? No, but this is fingering weight superwash yarn, and it's 40 meters each of this yarn. Look how beautiful that is. And then I have these beautiful stitch markers included, as well as some delicious tea, which I will be getting into as soon as I stop recording. And then a cool ornament. Did I tell you guys about how crazy Christmas was for me? I did, right? I told you that in my house we had 0 Christmas decorations, and our Christmas tree is pre-lit. So we managed to get the Christmas tree put up, and because it was already pre-lit, it had the lights. It had no ornaments in it. I did not have time. We did nothing. I had time to do nothing between preparing for Launchpad and shipping out 557 packages. My son brought home a little homemade a little ornament he made at school, and I hung that up. But other than that, there was no ornaments. But look at this beautiful, it looks hand painted to me, and I love it. I love anything handmade. So I have that. And she sent me this wonderful postcard. Look at this. And she took this photograph. They made it into a postcard. But look at this absolute beautiful photograph. Now this place, see, thank God I've got my glasses because I can actually read it. It says it is in Stourhead, Wiltshire. It's a glimpse of the Pantheon above the Palladian Bridge. And she sent me a beautiful little Christmas card. Anyway, I really wanted to make a point of sharing this with you because I did not do it last time. Because I had a lot last time too. And I'm on a stool, so that's why I keep moving around. Yeah, so it's just been amazing to receive all these gifts, to be able to purchase some of the things that I've purchased. I'm really happy about. One of the people that I've met that I was really, really excited to meet was Jeanette Sloan. She is such a powerful person, powerful woman. I really admire women with her energy and her character. She started a website even before the conversation was going on. She started a list on her website that had knitwear designers and crochet designers and people in the fiber industry. That in turn has become a big project, a much bigger project called BIPOC and Fiber. I don't know if you guys know about BIPOC and Fiber, but I just wanted to bring it up because one of the things that I have been talking with Diane Ivy of Lady Di Yarns is that the conversation of diversity and inclusion that happened in Instagram, that happened in the fiber community, is actually a conversation that is happening outside of that. It's happening in many places, in many industries. And I think there is a need for something like this BIPOC and Fibers website that she's putting in, which is a resource and that you can go and look to find knitwear designers and crochet designers. And if you want to learn more about it, sorry, I'm making a lot of noise. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to the website called BIPOC and Fiber. I will put a link to it, and I will keep the link to BIPOC and Fiber on my show notes here on out, in the same way that I keep the craft bank on there. It is just going to be part of what lives in every single episode of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. I think it is a needed resource. But on the Simply Crochet, this is issue 91, they do an article here about BIPOC and fiber. You can read about Lorna Hamilton Lorna Hamilton Brown. She wrote this article, I believe, because it says right here. Supporting BIPOC and fiber, Lorna Hamilton Brown on inclusive crafting. So she wrote this article that talks about BIPOC and fiber. And I met Lorna. Wow, I love Lorna. She's so colorful. She's such another one of those really powerful personalities that you meet. And this tells you kind of like, it tells you a little bit about the website and why it came to be. But I would also encourage you to go to the actual website and read about it. And like I said, I think that Vogue Knit Life is really doing it well. They really, I mean, of course, you know, nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Everything requires a development and a time to grow. And yes, mistakes will be made. And not, like I said, nothing is perfect. But the fact that it's starting, it's the fact that we are now making concrete movements towards a more inclusive community, I think is definitely something to be celebrated. All right. Now, I did not have Pattern Palooza last episode, but I have Pattern Palooza this week. And you know why? I was really, really pleasantly surprised with all of the crochet that I saw at VKL. Oh my God. You guys would have been so crochet proud to see all these beautiful crochet pieces walking around VKL. It was heartwarming. I was so proud of my craft. I was so proud to see it represented in the Kaleidoscope fashion show, which is something that was put on for the first time by VKL. There is a YouTube video about that covered the fashion show. I will link that. So if you wanted to go take a look at the fashion show, you can, and you will see some really amazing crochet pieces. But the thing about Vogue is that some of the people that were wearing their crochet pieces also designed them. And this week's Pattern Palooza has a mixture of VKL inspired patterns that I saw and also other patterns that I have collected since the last time I shared. But I'm going to start off with Ruth Brash. She is Ruth Brash Designs on Ravelry. So she was wearing this, and I think she was with a friend, and I was standing some, distance away, and I'm like, that's Tunisian crochet. And she has some beautiful patterns. This is called the Day Spring Shawl. It's a pattern available on Ravelry. It is really, really gorgeous. And her color selection for the pattern is really beautiful. This is a longer version of it. So yes, take a look at that. If you're into Tunisian crochet, definitely take a look at that pattern. Now, I saw some designs by Stephanie Aaron. One of them, and you will see a picture, it's a hot pink sweater with beads on it. And I said to the maker, I said, how many beads? And she said, over 2,000 beads. What's really funny is that when people work with beads, when they do beadwork, they almost always know how many beads that they used. The pattern is called the Andraste by Stephanie Aaron. It is this sweater right here. And the beadwork is in the sleeves. All of this is beadwork. This is a robust pattern, I gotta tell you. It is 15 pages. What am I looking at? No. 17 pages, yeah. Here's another version of it, which I thought was really beautiful. Look at that. This has beads on it right here on both sleeves. There's video support, tutorials. Well, I'll show you some more pictures. These are really nice too. See the pictures right here? See the beadwork right there? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, you see here where it says paid pattern and it says pay what you can. Pay what you can. There are there's 3 levels there's 3 prices that you can pay for this pattern. You can either pay approximately $6, approximately $9, and approximately $12 for the pattern. I think that's a great way to make patterns accessible. This pattern is a lot of work. I'm sure it took a lot of work to put it together. We need to pay designers what they're worth, but I love that she's doing the pay what you can structure. That's Stephanie Aaron, and I saw this in person. It's stunning. I saw this in person, and I grabbed her. I'm like, what are you wearing? And it's like the red carpet moment. You know, people were either ready or they could like pull it up on their phone. This is a pattern by Kim Miller. It's called the Lighthouse Shawl, and this is exactly the shawl that I saw. I believe this one right here. It was a beautiful, beautiful shawl. The yarn was like butter. It was so beautiful. So that's the Lighthouse Shawl by Kim Miller. As always, I will create a bundle for all of these patterns so that you can go on Instagram. No, don't go to Instagram. So that you can go to Ravelry and purchase these patterns if anything calls your name. Now, like I said, had the absolute pleasure to hang out with Mr. Corrado Lark, and he was kind enough to gift me his House of Lark sweater. He was wearing the sweater. I love it. I think I could rock this sweater. I love the boat neck. What do you call it? The collar, this part right here. Oh my gosh, I have no words. I love the way this looks. It's quarter sleeve, like it goes up to here. And is that a quarter sleeve? Don't mind me if it's not. Anyway, it's an awesome pattern. I love it. He has 13 sizes available in this pattern. So that's very, I think, inclusive, size inclusive. So that's Corrado's pattern. And I decided that my next knitted sweater is going to be one of Joji Locatelli's patterns, and I've chosen the easy bulky one. I have yarn coming in for that. I already have the needles, and I feel like actually these two are beginner friendly-ish. This one has a little cable design that's really pretty, but I would do this all in one color. This pattern, if you buy this pattern, then you get a discount on the easy one. Either way, you could buy the easy one and get a discount on this one, and you buy this one and you get a discount on this one. I decided to buy both. Now, I want to talk about someone that I met at Stitches SoCal. Yes, in November. I've been following her on Instagram, and she's a crochet designer, and I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Michelle, and she is Two Bossy Knits. And Michelle cranks out crochet designs like it's no joke. And she has some really, really cool designs. Now, I purchased do you remember the time cardigan? Look at that. That is just the coolest. And this is Michelle, actually. She takes she models all of her own designs. And then the Love on Top sweater, I liked it. I liked it a lot. So that's the Love on Top sweater. She has a ton of crochet design, you guys, a ton. So check her out and support her. She's a great designer. I do have a free pattern. And it's a pattern from, is it Michaels? It's a Michaels pattern. It's called, I don't know what the name of it. Oh, I have no idea what this is called. Cappuccino Crochet Kimono Project. It's a free pattern on the Michaels website, but I really like how open this is and how lacy, like the openness of it. I like that it does, you don't have to fuss with buttons or anything like that. It just seems like it's an easy, quick one. It is made with DK weight yarn. So that I think is a good pattern. And then I found this sweater, which I'm really intrigued about. It's called the Munas sweater by Ami Fianji. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Look at that. This is the name of the pattern. I really like the way this pattern looks. I like the way the sweater, I like the texture of the sweater a lot. And then I came across this pattern and I bought it, and I'm going to do a giveaway. I want to, because 100% of the proceeds of the purchase of this pattern go to an organization in Australia. Let me see if I can find what it is. All the profits from the sale of this pattern will be donated to Zeus Victoria Bushfire Wildlife Fund. We encourage you to make and sell these hats and also donate to the same charity, and there's a link here. It's called the Crying Koala. There is a knit and a crochet version. I obviously bought the crochet version of this pattern. You guys all know what's happening in Australia. You've seen it, you've heard it. I'm hoping to still crochet some of the pouches to send, but I feel like I can also donate this pattern to people, and because I'll be purchasing, that money will then be donated to that fund. So I will pick out, what did I say? 5. I will donate 5 of the Crying Koala patterns to viewers of this video. All you have to do to enter is put in on your comment that you're interested. Just put Crying Koala. Or no, let's do Support Australia. So in the comments, put Support Australia, and then I know that you want to be entered in the giveaway to win one of these patterns. The pattern costs $3.38, so I figured I will buy 5 of those patterns, and I will gift them to 5 people, 5 viewers of the video, and then that money is my small contribution to the fund. So remember to put in, I'll put it here, Support Australia in the comments, and that way I know that you want to be entered in this small giveaway. So that's it. I got through it. You guys don't even know. It took me, like, not joking, 6 to 7, 8, 9 times to just get started, because helicopters, dogs, kids coming home from school, all kinds of shenanigans, and it takes me a while to settle in to record one of these things. And I have a lot of footage that I want to add. I do want to make another quick announcement because it is Girl Scout cookie season. Girl Scout cookie season. It just started, and I want to encourage you to buy some Girl Scout cookies from your local troops. The money that these girls raise is what they use to fund their Girl Scout year. They do lots of good programs, and they, you know, donate money to different causes. And so I would highly encourage you. My daughter's a Girl Scout, and she has been a Girl Scout since she was 5 years old, and she's now 11. And I can tell you, in her Girl Scout troop, we have formed really solid friendships. And so I highly encourage you to support your local Girl Scout. And with that, I say goodbye. My name is Claudia. I am Crochet Luna on Instagram, Ravelry. On all social media platforms, I'm Crochet Luna. I wish you the best. I will see you soon. Crochet on. Buy some Girl Scout cookies. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.